Rick Mahler, the newest daddy on the team. Cheryl presented him with young Timothy, who's now about 2 or 3 days old. Rick did not have a good year starting. He was placed in the bullpen about a month ago when they started the young kids, Glavine and Kaufman and P. Smith. He's pitched pretty well out of the bullpen. Pete, I don't think we'll see it here with first and second no one out, but he has been experimenting with the knuckleball once again.
Yeah, he's going to go down to the instructional league, in fact, and work exclusively on the knuckleball. He's not sure what role the Braves have in mind for him next year, but he is going to go down and work on that knuckleball when the regular season ends.
Here's Krukow, who will be bunting. Braves have the rotation play on. Krukow swings away, and it's perfect. It's a ground ball to shortstop hole. 1 run is in. The throw to third is not in time to get a rebate. And the Giants have grabbed a 3-2 lead. And when you have the rotational play on, you leave the middle of the infield wide open, and Krukow took advantage of it.
This is still difficult to do. You show bunt, and that was not a very good pitch. It was low and outside. And as you see, nobody over there on the left side of the infield because the shortstop is covering third and the third baseman is charging. So all you got to do is make contact and hit a ground ball. If you can do that, you've got a base hit. And it gives the Giants the lead, 3-2. His 7th RBI of the year.
And you know, Pete, that was a great job of hitting by Krukow. That was a low outside pitch, and he hit a dribbling ground ball in that hole. There's no one also on the right side of the infield on the rotational play. Thompson takes outside. First and third, no one out. Second baseman, remember, is covering first, and the first baseman is charging the plate. So if you can hit the ball on the ground almost anywhere but at the pitcher, you have a base hit. Fouled away, 1-1. Uribe at third. Krukow at first. The Giants have the lead for the first time tonight, 3-2. And a 1-1 pitch about to be made to Robbie Thompson. That's double play ball. The Braves turn it. Uribe scores from third, and the Giants have a 4-2 lead. That's no RBI for Robbie Thompson because of the double play, but those are all mindless stats. Important. The Giants score another run and have a 4-2 lead. Oh, here's Kevin Mitchell. And Mahler's breaking ball, high ball 1. Albert Hall calls for it, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. However, the Giants get 2 runs on only 1 hit. A little dribbling ground ball by Krukow. No errors and no one left. The Braves come up in the bottom of the 6th, down by 2. 6, the Giants have a 4-2 lead as we go to the final 3 innings. Captain Jeffrey Leonard leads off for the Giants, and tell you about it, here's Pete Van Wieren.
Thank you, John. Leonard 0 for 3, a ground out to short, a bouncer to the pitcher. And he is fouled out to first. He's going to be retired pitcher to first again. 1 pitch, 1 out in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Candy Maldonado, who's also hitless tonight. Grounding out to short, grounding out to second, and striking out. You will hear teams at this time of the year, teams who are way down in the standings, complain about injuries that they've had during the year to key players. But take a look at the 2 division leaders right now in the National League, the Cardinals and the Giants, and all the injuries to key players that they have been able to play through this year. The Giants lost Maldonado for a month, Leonard for a month, Uribe for a month, Garrelts for about a month. And the Cardinals losing Tudor and Pena and Jack Clark. But here we are with 10 days to go in the regular season, and those 2 teams got through all those injuries and still won. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Maldonado. That might have been the knuckleball. Missed outside, 1-1. Now the 1-1 coming. And that was another one. Ozzie Virgil having a little trouble hanging on to him. An indicator that they're moving pretty well. 2-1 the count on Maldonado. That evens the count, 2-2. Rick Mahler has been fooling around with the knuckleball since he first came up to the Atlanta Braves. He talked with Phil Niekro, had Phil show him how to throw one. Just threw it on the side for several years before ever trying it in a game. He tried it a couple times last year. And there's the fastball, grounded to short. Blauser throws out Maldonado, 2 down. Now Chili Davis, who has struck out, homered, and walked. A lot of different people wearing that giant uniform this year. They have basically changed just about their entire club around since the beginning of the season. There are some people out there that have been out there all year. But members of the bench, members of the pitching staff, a new everyday player at third. The heart of this team very different from what it was at the beginning of the year. 1-1 now on Chili Davis. You don't see that happen that frequently in the major leagues. A team winning the division with as many player changes as the Giants have made. Count goes to 2-1. I think the only team that has made as many, if not more, roster moves in the National League this year, the Pittsburgh Pirates. And that's usually the kind of a team that makes a lot of changes. Teams looking for pitching depth, looking for youngsters to come in and replace veterans, but not having a winning season.
I know only one other team has made more. Obviously,
well, we know who that is.
The Yankees have had the cast of Quo Vadis on there from the mob scene on their ball club this year.
They have that shuttle going from New York to Columbus all summer long. Fouled away, 2-2. Giants leading at 4-2. If they win this game, the magic number for them down to 3. And then they await the outcome of the Houston-Cincinnati contest, which Cincinnati was leading at last report. Here's the 2-2. High fly ball, shallow right field. Gant is back. Murphy is in. And Murphy will make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Rick Mahler. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. Giants lead it by 2.
Game and a half, but tonight Detroit behind Frank Tanana leads Toronto and Jimmy Key 2-0. The other scores are there. Minnesota has a 6-game lead with 9 to play, and they'll move closer to clinching the West if they hold on to that lead. Oakland plays later tonight, and there are your scores.
We go to the 8th inning. Phil Niekro, who will pitch here on Sunday afternoon. I think he and Chuck Tanner are talking about different ways of doctoring the baseball. Chuck Tanner was going into a pitching motion there and showing Phil Niekro a couple of things he's seen pitchers do before. Here's Bob Brenly, who's 1 for 3.
And those scores, by the way, compiled through the brilliance of Kelly Carter.
Giants lead at 4-2. We're in the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Fan appreciation night tomorrow night. All kinds of prizes given away throughout the game, and then after the game, the grand prizes: a Delta trip for 2 and a brand new 1987 automobile. Here's the 1-1 to Brenly. 2-1 the count. Mahler throwing that knuckleball a lot more frequently in this outing than he has previously. 3-1 now on Brindley. And the 3-1 pitch, he walked him. First walk issued by Mahler. Walk number 5 off Atlanta pitching. Will Clark will be the batter. Clark with a strikeout, a single, and a walk. You don't hear his name mentioned very often when MVP talk comes up. But you could make a case for Will Clark. 33 home runs, 87 RBIs. Hitting over 300. And he's done it hitting in all parts of the batting order. Roger Craig has let him off a few times. He's had him in the middle of the order against the left-handed starter. He drops him down to the number 6 or 7 spot, hitting 7th tonight. And that's not easy to do. Most hitters like to get into one spot in that batting order and stay there. Brindley is going. A swing and a miss at the fastball. Brindley trying to get back. Gant's throw back there. And Brindley got back in time. Brindley has 9 stolen bases. Virgil made a good throw there, and Brindley knew he did not get a good jump, so he put the brakes on and got back to first.
That's good baseball instinct by Brindley to know he didn't have a jump. Virgil whistles the throw down, and so Brindley tries to get back. And he just apparently hit the bag with his hand before Perry's tag on the shoulder. No argument from the Braves, so Brindley back at first.
The count 1-1 now on Will Clark. Brindley going again. This time he's going to get in there without a throw as the ball bounces up and Virgil couldn't handle it.
You know, sometimes it is luck of the draw. First time Virgil had an easy pitch to catch and his throw would have had Brindley by 15 feet. This time he chose what I think looked like a breaking ball. It was down the dirt. Mahler just overthrew, and so Virgil had no chance to get Brindley, and there he is at second base.
10 stolen bases, a good number for a catcher. Chuck Carey, the left-hander, Jeff Dedman, the right-hander, in the Atlanta bullpen. The count 2-1 on Will Clark. The breaking ball makes it 2-2. Giants leading at 4-2 are in the 8th inning. Clark stepping out. Braves with 8 hits. The Giants with 7 in the game. And here's the 2-2. Fastball fouled away. It's quite a jump, isn't it? It's going to be very interesting this year. Someone will compile this list at the end of the year. How many regular players in the major leagues improved their home run totals from a year ago? It's going to be a pretty good number. In fact, there'll be a pretty good number with career highs in the home run department. Will Clark dumps that one into center field. Around third is Brindley. The throw coming home. It is not going to be in time. Clark with his 88th RBI, and the Giants up their lead to 5-2.
Clark, they call him the natural. He's just one of those natural hitters who will hit 300 in any league he plays. He's done it all of his life. He never really has a bad at bat. He always makes contact. Here he just kind of bloops the ball to center field. And when Brindley comes home, the throw is pretty close. Good throw by Albert Hall, but Brindley touches the plate with his hand as he slides, and he's in there.
That is the second hit off of Rick Mahler. And now Jose Uribe steps in. Takes high ball 1. Cincinnati won their game. The final just in. The Reds defeated Houston 4-1. So the best the Giants can do tonight would be reduce that magic number to 3. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike.
But if the Giants win, they're 7 up with 9 to play. I'd like to be in that position.
It would really take a collapse by this Giants club for them not to make it to the playoffs. It's happened to teams before, but very rarely. Here's the 1-1. The breaking ball caught the inside corner. 1-2. Uribe 1 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out. Single was hit by a pitch back in the 6th inning. Fouled away. So the count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out in the inning. Clark down at second. He took second on that throw home. That's punched foul down the left side. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Uribe, one of those hitters who moves around in the batter's box depending on who's pitching. With a pitcher like Rick Mahler, who throws a lot of breaking balls, he stands up in the front part of that batting box, tries to get that curveball before the break really begins. You get a hard thrower in there, he'll step back in the batter's box a little bit. Here's the 1-2, and there's the breaking ball looped into center field again. The Giants have found a spot out there. Will Clark around third. He'll score it. 6-2. Uribe drives in his 28th run of the year. And the Giants are putting this one away here in the 8th.
Not hit hard, but if you make contact, usually something good will happen. There's a breaking ball, and Uribe makes contact, kind of sprays the ball to center field. He's done a good job with the bat this year.
Now Mike Krukow, who has walked, singled, and struck out tonight. He drove in a run with his base hit. He was squaring, took it outside. 6 runs, 9 hits now for the Giants. 2 runs, 8 hits for Atlanta. Top half of the 8th inning. Got the bunt down, but foul. The count even on Krukow, 1-1. Giants, a team loaded with young players. Players who have only been up in the major leagues for a couple of years. But it's players like Mike Krukow who really appreciate what's going on in San Francisco. He's been around the major leagues since 1976. Never been on a division winner. The 1-3 sacrifice moves Uribe down to second. And with 1 out, Robbie Thompson will step in. Thompson 1 for 4. He had a double back in the 5th inning. Nothing and 1 the count on Thompson. Line into left field on the breaking ball that hung up there for him. It's a base hit. Uribe is going to stop at third. As the ball quickly thrown back to the infield. Now it's 1st and 3rd with 1 out for Kevin Mitchell. Here comes Chuck Tanner. And he's already made the signal. He wants the right-hander, Jeff Dedman.
Mahler's curveball, not a sharp breaking one tonight. It's hung up, and almost every hit the Giants have had off him has been on a curveball that's hung just enough.
So Mahler will be lifted after working 2 1/3 innings. He has given up 4 hits, 2 runs to this point. The runners at 1st and 3rd belong to him. 1 walk, no strikeouts. And it'll be Dedman facing Kevin Mitchell right after this.